So I need you guys to let me know if you like this style of content. I'm just going to be blabbering about the Sixers' next matchup. I could do this every single game for a preview and then after the game, but there's going to be absolutely no edits. It's just going to be a picture of the logos on the screen, but it's a way I can get more content out. So let me know if I should keep this up. Now, the Lakers are 4-4. They started off the season very, very hot, but they're kind of on a losing skid and they got embarrassed by the Memphis Grizzlies. Like the vibes over there seem very pissed off. JJ Redick stormed out of an interview post game. And I don't know. I think the Lakers are going to be very focused. I don't think this is a case where the Lakers are going to be looking at the other side and they see the trash Sixers without Tyrese Maxey, without Joel Embiid. I don't think they're going to come out flat because they know they have a lot of room for error because they are the favored team. I think they're trying to get back on their winning ways. So they're going to be focused, which means the Sixers, they got to be ready for it because the Lakers seem very pissed off right now. Hopefully Anthony Davis is out because quite frankly, that's the answer to the question. Do the Sixers have a chance? If Anthony Davis is not playing, they have a chance because AD, without him, the Lakers since 2022, 30 and 42. That's a 41 win percentage, around the same as the Sixers without Joel Embiid, a little better, I will say. And their defense has been very, very bad. And that's kind of embarrassing because Anthony Davis only didn't play in one game, and they still have a 28th ranked defense. And if you have Anthony Davis, just like Joel Embiid, you should easily be a top 10 defense. But their perimeter defense, D'Lo, Austin Reeves. I mean, come on now. That's not very good. That's another sad thing to think about for the Sixers. I think Tyrese Maxey would have cooked this matchup. And obviously, Paul George is going to have to get his. I would assume they put Rui Hachimura on him to start the game. I think you're going to see a lot of Cam Reddish. He's been playing a lot more recently. He's averaging 16.4 minutes per game. He just played in the last 3 games after not playing in the first couple. And a lot has to do because of the defensive concerns. I think he's going to get the Paul George matchup a lot of the times. Of course, every now and again, LeBron James will switch out on the Paul George. So it's pretty much the same Lakers team as last season. That's the whole big joke. Like, oh, they got JJ Redick, but they're still the same roster. So what's going to happen? Rob Pelinka is actually the issue. That's what a lot of Lakers fans are saying. So Paul George last year in 3 games versus the Lakers, 24.7 points, 5 rebounds, 2.3 assists. He had a 35-point game versus them as well. So I think especially if Anthony Davis does not play, I think this may be a huge Paul George game, hopefully a 30-point special. Now, supposedly Paul George is on a minutes restriction. Quite frankly, for the Sixers to win this game, that's got to be lifted. He's got to play over 30 minutes. Now, against the Phoenix Suns, he played over 32 minutes. Los Angeles Clippers, he played 24 minutes. So I don't know. Is he really on a minutes restriction? I think the reason he only got 24 minutes is because the Sixers got blown out against the Clippers. And a big issue for the Sixers this year is they have been one of the worst shooting teams, shooting 32.5% from three. And the funny thing is, the Lakers, pretty much the same level, 34.4%. And then go to 3 pointers attempted per game. The Sixers actually shoot more 3 pointers. They generate more 3 pointers than the Lakers. And that was a big point of emphasis from JJ Redick coming in. He wanted them to shoot way more 3 pointers. And right now, 27th in the league. And on top of that, they only make 11 3 pointers per game, which is 29th in the league, second last. To put that in perspective, Sixers 11.7, barely better. So this is going to be the battle of two teams that cannot shoot threes. And a lot of their 3 point shooters are not hitting. So D'Lo, he's always been a good 3 point shooter, 29%. And he shoots a bulk of them, 6 threes a game, shooting 29%. So as you guys know, if you're a Sixers fan, a lot of players find their groove against them. So expect D'Lo to be on fire tomorrow. Austin Reeves, 33%. He shoots the most threes per game, 6.8. LeBron James has been on fire from three, 5.9 3 pointers attempted, 46.8%. And then Rui Hachimura, 57%, but just 3 3 pointers a game. Gabe Vincent has been horrendous for the Lakers. A lot of Lakers fans are saying he shouldn't even be in the rotation. Now, he is a notorious Sixers killer. So if he kills the Sixers, that's going to be very sad because currently he's shooting 18.2% from three on 2.8 3 pointers attempted, and also 28% from the field on 3 points per game. Him and Max Christie have been duds for the Lakers. A lot of people expected Max Christie to kind of have a breakout season for them. He's pretty young. I forget how old he is, but I'm pretty sure he's like 22 or something like that. Pretty solid two-way player when he does play well. So that's sad for Lakers fans right now. So in terms of who's going to replace Maxey, Keith Pompey just tweeted that Kyle Lowry is going to be starting. So I would assume Nick Nurse is going to start Kyle Lowry, Eric Gordon, Kelly Oubre, Paul George, and Andre Drummond. That's what I would assume. That's not what I would do, but it is what it is. I would honestly just start Jared McCain. I think the Sixers need his 3 point volume. And I think if he is allowed to establish a rhythm, make a couple mistakes, I think he could have a very good game versus this Lakers team. And that would be fun to watch because it's going to be Dalton Connect versus Jared McCain. And a lot of Sixers fans, including myself, think that the Sixers should have drafted Dalton Connect. So that would be a fun little matchup. Hopefully, Jared McCain gets some time. He definitely deserves some time with Maxi being out. Keith Pompey also tweeted Reggie Jackson is set to be in the rotation. I'm gonna be real. I can't believe I'm saying this, and I think this puts in perspective the state of the Sixers, but the Sixers need Reggie Jackson like badly. They need a scoring archetype like him, and when he's at his best, that's exactly what they need. They have players who can do things, but they don't have players who can put it in the bucket. Like you got Caleb Martin, who's a good defender, good rebounder, good hustle type, and every now and again he'll drive to the hoop and score. You got Kyle Lowry. He'll set up the offense. He'll throw a nice pass, hit 3 pointers, be in the right spot, things like that. Like they got a bunch of pieces, but they don't got that bucket getter. They need a role player to be a bucket getter. They need to fill that campaign void that has been missing this year. And hopefully Reggie Jackson is that guy. Now he hasn't looked good this year. He hasn't looked good in the preseason. He didn't look good in his sparing minutes in the regular season, but I mean, he hasn't been able to establish a rhythm, and hopefully, maybe now that Tyrese Maxey is out, he knows he can get more minutes. So hopefully, he has more energy because that was the one thing I noticed in his only regular season game. Like the energy was lacking from him, and hopefully, he has something left in the tank because last year as a starter, he averaged 15.4 points, 5.3 assists in 23 games for the Denver Nuggets. So there's something there, and I think the Sixers need a scorer, and he could fill that void. And maybe with Maxey out, he gets a boost confidence wise. And the thing to keep in mind is he's really good friends with Paul George. I think the main reason why Reggie Jackson is here is because Paul George. Reggie Jackson has stated like one time during his Clipper career that Paul George was the big reason that he started enjoying basketball again or something like that. Something along those lines. Don't quote me on that, but it was something like that. And basically my point is the main reason Reggie Jackson is here is because Paul George. So I would not be surprised that he started enjoying basketball again or something like that. Something along those lines. Don't quote me on that, but it was something like that. And basically my point is the main reason Reggie Jackson is here is because Paul George. So I would not be surprised if Reggie Jackson puts a good game together. He might find himself in the starting lineup because of that dynamic with Paul George. And remember, Reggie Jackson was it was looking like the end of his career, but then all of a sudden he finds himself on the Clippers starting next to Paul George and he rejuvenates his career. Hopefully, that's the same case because unfortunately, we need it. Also, low key, another good thing moving into this matchup. Hopefully, Anthony Davis is out because if he is, they should have the advantage in terms of the big man because the Lakers' backup big is Jackson Hayes. And then Christian Koloko played yesterday, his first NBA game in a couple of years because he had a health issue. So Andre Drummond and Gershon Yabusele, they are better than Jackson Hayes and Koloko. So the Sixers actually should have an advantage big man wise, of course, if Anthony Davis is not playing. Also, Lakers 26th in the league for rebounding, 30th for the Sixers. They're the worst rebounding team in the league, but minus Anthony Davis, I feel like both teams are pretty even rebounding wise. So as you can tell, the matchup hinges on if Anthony Davis is playing. It's really that simple. If he's not, they have a chance. And that's all we can hope for with the state of the Sixers right now.